It was a humid summer evening in Charleston, South Carolina. The cicadas buzzed outside as suburban minivans filled the parking lot of Revolution Martial Arts Academy. Parents lingered near the benches, clutching iced coffees and cell phones while their kids practiced forms on the bright blue mats inside. Among the quiet hum of the room, a woman stepped through the double glass doors. Her name was Ellie Carson, 40 years old, gray hoodie, yoga pants, and a tote bag slung over her shoulder. She didn't look like much. Her face was plain, her body lean but unassuming. No one gave her a second glance. She scanned the room until she spotted her 15-year-old son, Noah, sparring clumsily in a beginner class. Ellie smiled softly, settling onto the bench beside other parents. She pulled out a paperback novel, thumbing through the pages, but occasionally glancing up to watch her boy. Across the room, Coach Blake Ramsey, a 6-foot-tall, heavily muscled black belt in his early 30s, barked instructions at the advanced class. He was confident, flashy, and a local legend. Former regional MMA fighter, now gym owner. His booming voice carried over the mats as he corrected stances with theatrical flair. "Come on, Harper. My grandma moves faster than that." The kids laughed awkwardly. Coach Ramsey smirked, loving the spotlight. He thrived on being the alpha, the one everyone admired. But something about Ellie's stillness caught his eye. She wasn't filming like the others. She wasn't even watching her own son very closely. Just sitting there, calm, like she already knew what everyone was about to learn. "Hey you," Blake called across the mats. "Yeah, you in the hoodie. You ever thrown a punch before?" Some parents chuckled. Ellie looked up, eyebrows slightly raised. "I have. Once or twice." "Well, step up. Let's give the kids a fun demo. Come on, don't be shy." Noah looked horrified. "Mom, please don't. He's just trying to show off." But Ellie slowly stood. Her book fell shut in her lap. "If it'll help the kids," she said calmly, "sure." The class buzzed. A few teens snickered. "A mom? Sparring Coach Ramsey?" Blake grinned like a showman before curtain call. "Don't worry, folks. I'll go easy. Just want to show what real training looks like." As Ellie stepped onto the mat, something in her movement changed. Her gait grew smoother. Her posture shifted. Even her breathing slowed. But nobody noticed. Except for one man leaning against the back wall, Tommy McClure, a retired Army vet who'd brought his niece to class. His eyes narrowed. "That woman," he muttered to himself. "She moves like Delta Force." Blake clapped his hands. "Let's have some fun." He feinted a jab, then launched a fast front kick. But Ellie was already gone. Just a blur. She stepped to the side and tapped him lightly on the shoulder as he stumbled forward. Laughter rippled across the mats. Blake reset, flushed. Lucky dodge. He came at her with a flurry of punches. Ellie moved like smoke. No wasted motion. Each step, a lesson in control. She didn't hit back. She didn't need to. The room went quiet. She stepped in close. Not to strike, but to whisper something no one else could hear. Blake froze. Then she took a few steps back. "Are we done?" she asked. He nodded stiffly. Ellie turned to the kids and smiled. Martial arts isn't about proving you're the toughest. It's about knowing when you don't have to. The class erupted into applause. But Coach Ramsey stood stunned. Later that evening, as the crowd dispersed, he caught up with her in the parking lot. "Wait," he said. "Who are you really?" She paused, gave a small smile. "Once upon a time, I was a combat trainer for the Air Force. Special Ops." Blake's jaw dropped. "But now," she said, looking back at Noah buckling into the minivan, "I'm just a mom trying to raise a good man." She got in and drove off, leaving the gym's biggest ego in stunned silence. But that wasn't the end. 2 weeks later, Coach Ramsey invited Ellie back to give a special seminar for the older students under a new title: Respect, Humility, and Hidden Strength. She walked in with her hair pulled back, wearing a plain gray GI, and stood in front of 30 teenagers who now knew exactly who she was. Ellie didn't open with fancy moves. She opened with a story. I used to teach soldiers how to fight in places where losing wasn't an option. But I gave all that up when my husband, a pilot, was killed overseas. I had a toddler and a newborn. I couldn't afford to live in danger anymore. The class was silent. I walked away. For 15 years, I didn't throw a punch. I built a quiet life. Taught art at the local college. Raised my boys. But when I walked into this gym and saw someone abusing power to impress an audience, I realized strength doesn't fade. Sometimes it just waits. She took a step forward. Real strength is choosing to walk away from a fight you know you could win. Coach Ramsey stood off to the side, watching his students hang on her every word. He nodded slowly. Afterward, as the students lined up to thank her, Noah ran over and hugged his mom in front of everyone. "I had no idea," he whispered. Ellie kissed his forehead. "You didn't need to. You just needed to know that strength isn't always loud." Moral: strength isn't always loud or flashy. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who choose not to show it until it truly matters. Don't mistake silence for weakness. And never forget that every person has a past you know nothing about.